Good morning, I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. It looks like a little wet on this Tuesday morning as we've had some scattered showers across the area. Some folks haven't got a drop of rain yet. Others have gotten some pretty heavy downpours. We'll go through the afternoon kind of like that, where some will be getting some heavy rains while others will not see any rain for today possibly. All right, we're going to take a look at the radar. We're going to take a look at the 7-day forecast, which looks amazing as we head towards the weekend. Temperatures are going to be on a little bit on the warm side, but low humidities, very comfortable mornings. Looks like a good weekend with dry weather. And then we'll also look at the tropics. We still have Gabrielle, the hurricane out there, Category 4 hurricane, by the way. That's going to continue to move out into the Atlantic. And then we've got a couple of things we're looking at as we head towards maybe about a week away, where they could be affecting possibly the East Coast. Don't think we're going to see anything here in the Gulf, but maybe the East Coast could see some impacts from a couple of storms that are working their way off towards the west. They're out in the Atlantic now, but they're working their way off towards the west. So we'll look at all that. First, let's look at what we're expecting for this afternoon, and we'll go as high as 50, maybe 60% coverage of these scattered showers. A few thunderstorms, but a lot of it is just some heavy rain that's moved across the area, some of those tropical downpours. We'll get up into the middle to upper 80s, depending on how much rain you get today, and then we'll back off to around 84 by 6 o'clock. 20% chance of a couple of showers, still lingering towards 6. But most of those will die down fairly quickly as we head towards the evening hours. And by 10 o'clock, looks like dry weather with temperatures in the upper 70s. And I think we'll go through the overnight dry as well before that cold front comes in tomorrow. That means some more rain coming in tomorrow. But we get through that, we're looking pretty good for the rest of the week through the weekend. As we look at the allergy report, right now kind of all over the place, from low on grass to high in weed, and then medium on tree, and then medium on mold. So like I said, kind of all over the place out there on allergy report. By the way, that number at the bottom of your screen, you can text us any weather questions that you have, 409-749-9302. If you want, you write it down, and if you do have a weather question, no matter when, you can text us and ask us. We'll check the phone that it comes in on periodically and try to get back to you as quick as we can. Now, don't call this number. We won't answer the phone, but definitely look at those text messages and give you an answer to your weather question that you have for us, either me in the mornings or Patrick in the evenings. Carrie, of course, will be checking also during the weekend or the weekends as well. So make sure you give us a chance to answer those weather questions, 409-749-9302. All right, let's take a look at what's going on outside. Let's look at some of these sky cams. The one downtown doesn't look too bad. We're seeing a little bit of blue sky, some clouds building here and there. Downtown has gotten a little bit of rain, a little over 1/10 of an inch of rain so far, 0.12 on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Of course, this is the camera from Packard LaPrade as we look at the Beaumont skyline for this morning. And then we'll switch down to right here at our 12 News studio as we look off towards the east. Definitely seeing some showers there just towards the east side of Beaumont. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing. Once again, part of that Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And definitely can see some darker clouds and some showers way off in the distance there. We have some rain over parts of Orange County for this morning. We've had some rain through Jefferson County as well. They've been kind of scattered throughout southeast Texas, anywhere from Newton County, Tyler County, Hardin County. Everybody's been seeing at least a little bit of rain here and there. And looks like definitely can see some lowering cloud decks and some showers off towards the east. Here's over towards Lake Charles. You can see a shower right there in the center of your screen. As we look down towards the port of Lake Charles there, they've been getting some wet weather as well. The rain's actually been scattered from Corpus Christi all the way over towards south central Louisiana, right along the coast. That's where we've been seeing those showers. We saw them earlier this morning, and they continue to stream in from the Gulf for this morning and going into the afternoon. Like I said, once we start to get into this evening, things will quiet down a little bit, and we should be seeing a fairly dry evening. So if you have a soccer practice, soccer game, something like that this evening, should be a little bit drier conditions as far as getting out and getting those kind of things done. Maybe have some football practice or something like that. I think we'll be a little bit drier heading towards this evening. Here's the view up towards Jasper. Maybe a couple of showers there. It's hard to tell. This camera brought to you by Provalis on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network, but definitely some building clouds there in the Jasper area. Haven't seen too much rain up towards the lakes, but there are some showers heading up in that direction now. Been seeing some rain, especially northern parts of Newton County around Burkeville. Been getting some rain. That's heading up towards the south end of Toledo Bend. So if you're watching this from the south end of Toledo Bend, you're thinking about taking out on the boat, you might want to check the radar I'll show you it here in a second before you go. And then over towards the Orange area, I've been getting some rain there. You can see picked up about 1/4 of an inch with some rain earlier this morning. Currently showing 83 thanks to that rain cooled air, humidity at 85%, and winds out of the northeast to northwest at about 2 to 3 miles an hour, but definitely seeing some rain there off of the distance. And you can see the roadways are going to be wet. Some of these showers are going to reduce your visibilities pretty low, so make sure you slow down, take your time getting through some of these showers. Don't try to speed up and get through them. Make sure you take your time and just be careful on the roadways out there. You could be driving with some sunshine, and before you know it, you can run into a heavy downpour that reduces your speed all the way down to 20, 30 miles an hour. So just be careful out there. Temperatures right now where they haven't gotten any rain, Woodville almost at 90 right now, 86 in Jasper. Once again, maybe a couple of showers, but not too much. Same deal for Kirbyville. And then when we see where most of the rain is, look at that, Port Arthur right now is at 77. Compare that to the 89 in Woodville or the 90 in Conroe. Definitely can see some rain cooled air there. Silsbee's at 80, and then Orange currently at about 83. And here's radar. Probably should say a little bit higher than 50% coverage of rain today, because right now it looks like maybe 50 or 60% coverage of some scattered showers out there. Rain stretching all the way from Louisiana back, like I said, all the way down to Corpus Christi. Let's head up towards the lakes. We'll take a look at radar here. And like I said, if you're thinking about maybe getting in the boat for lunch, heading to out on the lake there, you got some rain coming in, so I'd wait a little bit. Once this activity passes by, you'll see a break for a little while, but this is going to bring in some rain for a little bit there. And then as we head over towards northern parts of Jasper County into Tyler County, starting to see some heavy rain pop up around Jasper area, starting to see a few isolated showers, some heavier, a little bit more widespread rain down there towards southern into Tyler County around Spurger down there. Woodville, not too bad. You got a couple of showers kind of around Woodville area, but nothing right in town there, it looks like right now. And then most of northern Newton County, except for this little bit up towards the northern end there, pretty quiet. Newton itself, don't see too much as far as any rain right around there. Well, drop down a little bit. You can see southern half of Jasper, Newton counties getting some downpours here. Deweyville, Mauriceville getting some rain. Orange is getting some heavy rain right now. Port Arthur, not too bad, but mid-county, you're getting some rain. Sabine Lake getting some rain. If you're traveling I-10, I think you'll be all right through Vidor, but once you get past that, you'll run into some heavy rain through Orange, and then once you cross the river, looks like over towards Calcasieu Parish, you have a little bit of dry weather there, and then some rain down towards Sabine Pass. Heading out on 90, there have been a few showers. Looks like southern part of Hardin County getting a little bit of rain there. Looks like a little bit of a downpour near the Nome area right now. So yeah, it's scattered about. It's heading out for lunch. Right now in Beaumont, not too bad. Most of this stuff will miss us off towards the east. So I think you might be able to, hopefully, cross your fingers, run out and get some lunch and come back without getting wet for this morning. But definitely seeing some rain out there that could drop a quick 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch in a short period of time as they move their way up towards the north. Here's the motion of these, and you can see generally coming in from the south and kind of drifting off towards the north and east as we go through not only this morning but through this afternoon with a really good coverage, 50-60% coverage out there. So just be ready for a quick shower to pop up, move across your area, and then move out of here. We need the rain. We've been over, at least out of the airport, I should say, we've been over 7 inches behind. We're now just a little over 6 inches behind, but these showers are a good thing for us, and we'll get even more tomorrow as a cold front comes into the area. The front right now is way up towards Texas Panhandle, but that's going to be sliding in here late tomorrow. Out ahead of it, we'll see some more rain. Could be pretty heavy tomorrow, maybe 1 to 2 inches of rain with this front coming through late on Wednesday and lingering into Thursday. Once it gets out of here, though, once it moves down into the Gulf on Thursday, we'll start to dry out. It looks like a really nice weekend. I'll have to show you that in a 7-day. But right now you can see these showers right along the coast, all the way up into parts of central Louisiana. They started out in the Gulf and they've been working their way northwards, kind of like a sea breeze kicking in. So, and they'll continue to work their way northward, and they don't look much like on the regional radar, but up close you can see how heavy some of those downpours are. All right, as we take a look at futurecast showing the rain through the afternoon, watch how it dies down as we get into this evening. This evening should be fairly quiet. Temperatures back down into the 70s overnight with some partly cloudy skies. And then tomorrow we'll start off fairly dry, and then as we get deeper into the day, watch how the activity starts to increase, especially late in the afternoon into the evening as that front starts to arrive. We'll see showers and thunderstorms there and could get heavy at times. But once that clears out of here early on Thursday, we'll start to see some drier weather coming in as we head towards Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There is a satellite glitch here. I apologize for that, but you see that quick pink flash. That's the satellite messing up a little bit. So out into the tropics, we've got Hurricane Gabrielle. Category 4 hurricane right now. Winds are at 140. Then we've got one disturbance here, another disturbance here. They're drifting off towards the west, and they'll continue to move a little bit closer towards the U.S. It looks like as we head towards maybe into next week. But the chances of this one developing 90%, chance of this one developing is about 60%. This one looks like it could come a little bit closer to the U.S. coastline than this one. This one looks like it might take the same track as Gabrielle has and kind of stay out in the open Atlantic. So we're going to be watching these. Both of these will stay, it looks like, east of Florida, but like I said, after that we'll have to wait and see. No problems for us here in the northwestern Gulf. We don't have to worry about any of these. I don't think we'll have any problem with these. But we're going to be watching. We could see a couple of named storms here as we head towards maybe late in the weekend and early next week. This one might be a named storm before then. So something we're watching very closely, but once again, not too worried about the Gulf here. We're looking at conditions, especially in the northwestern Gulf, that are not conducive of any type of tropical system around. Here's Gabrielle. Like I said, winds are at 140 right now, category 4, moving to the east, northeast at 20, and it'll continue to move away from the U.S. Out through across the Atlantic, so good news there. All right, our coastal marine forecast for today. We'll see our next high tide at 5:36. South winds at 10 knots along the coast, seas around 2 feet. Just a light chop on the inland lakes and bays. Of course, we're going to be dodging some showers and thunderstorms here and there. Right now, we have south winds at Texas Point at 15, gusting to 16. Water temperature in the upper 80s. Our sunset tonight will be at 7:11 for this evening. All right, our forecast for today. We'll try to get to 90, but a lot of locations with some of these showers around, I think we'll be stuck in the 80s, kind of like we were yesterday. I put 90 on there, kind of wishful thinking, but if we get a little sunshine, a little bit of a break between some of these showers, we could get to 90. We'll go variable clouds, 50% coverage of the showers and thunderstorms throughout the area with south winds at about 5 to 10. For tonight, mostly clear, especially inland Texas, southeast, or the lakes area, and then the triangle will partly cloudy. Could see a couple of showers along the coast, but overall looks like a dry overnight. Temperatures dropping back down into the middle 70s here around the triangle, and then we'll fall off into the lower 70s up to places like, say, Newton, Jasper, Kirbyville, Burkeville, where we'll be about 72 or 73. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. Get through some rain today and tomorrow, and we get to that weekend looking pretty good. But today we'll see those scattered showers through the early evening. They die down. Then we'll see showers and thunderstorms fire up tomorrow ahead of that front. That comes through very late on Wednesday. Might even see a few showers linger into Thursday. I put 30%, but that could fall off to really 0 if they end maybe late in the evening, very early morning hours on Thursday. So I wouldn't count for too much rain on Thursday. By the afternoon, I think it'll be dry. But you notice cooler at 86. And then look at this weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll start off in the middle 60s. That means lower 60s up towards the lakes area. And then we'll see afternoon highs reaching the middle to upper 80s. So looking pretty good there. We're also looking at lower humidity. So even though 87, 88, 89 is very warm, with lower humidity is not too bad there. And then Monday we get back to 90, but still morning lows are going to be into the 60s. So looking really good for the weekend. Like I said, we just got to get a little through this rain before we get there. And we need the rain. We've been dry a little while, so hopefully we pick up 1 or 2 inches of rain before that cooler, drier air comes in here. All right, we're going to wrap up this stream. If you want to catch more on your weather, you can do that tonight at 6:30 to 6:45. Patrick will be here doing the same thing I am, doing a weather